Hey everybody, welcome back to Reading When I Can. This is going to be a wrap up of what I've read so far this year in 2021. I read 5 books in January and then 2 books so far in February. So I'm also going to give just a roundup, I guess, of the books that I'm intending on reading in February. I know we're over a weekend at this point, but I don't do well with TBRs. I just don't. I never did. I tend to make plans and then I rebel against myself and I don't stick with them. So, just plan on discussing some of the books that I read, what's coming up, and going from there. So, in January, I read 5 books. Pretty happy with that. January is always a rough reading month for me. January and September seem to be the months that I slow down the most. So I am very happy with 5 books. And I have to say, I know I said it in a previous video, but listening to audiobooks has been such a game changer. I never listened to them before, I don't know, maybe like a year and a half ago. I was either pregnant or I had just had my son, and it's just made such a difference in my reading life because working full time and doing everything, which I know a lot of us have just crazy lifestyles. It's hard to get reading in and not be totally exhausted at night. So audiobooks have made such a difference when I'm driving or doing laundry or cooking dinner. It's nice to just listen. I try not to listen to meaty books on audio just because sometimes I don't always process it the way that I want it to. But I'm enjoying it for some maybe lighter reading or rereads. Although I have to say with audiobooks and classics, sometimes I'll start reading it, listen to the audio, go back and forth, and that's kind of a nice separation between the two because it allows me to really think about what I've been reading and listening to. So anyway, speaking of audiobooks, with Doris and Heidi, I've been reading the Bridgerton series. I think we started in November in anticipation of the show, which has been such a huge hit, and it's so fun. Rereads for all of us, but it's my first time listening to it. So we read To Sir Philip with Love, When He Was Wicked, and It's in His Kiss, which are books 5, 6, and 7 in the Bridgerton series. Really enjoyable. I made a video a couple years ago about why I love the Bridgerton series, but it's been a nice, easy, fun read. I love historical romance. It's my favorite. So, listening to that by Julia Quinn, the narrator's pretty good. It's been really enjoyable. And we have 1 book left, which I can't believe how quickly, we've gone through the series. It feels like we just started, but we only have 1 left to go. So anyway, really enjoyed them. If you are new to historical romance, I always suggest starting off with Julia Quinn because she does such a good job with not just the love story, but the family relationships and friendships. She just does such a nice job with those. So that's all. 1 book that I just want to mention that I got from the library because I enjoy the show on Netflix is The Home Edit Life, and I just don't recommend it. I don't like to do negative reviews necessarily, but it was very pretty. I'm glad I got it from the library and didn't buy it, but it was just basically, there were no tips in it, and it was like, we did this famous person's vacation closet, and this is this famous person's, organized tour bus. So not really, things that are useful, maybe. Really pretty, but I'm glad I didn't buy that book, so... Anyway, the other book that I read in January is A Curious Beginning, and that's by Deanna Rayburn. I had bought this when it first came out in hardcover, and now they don't even have these covers anymore. I enjoyed it. It wasn't as good as I was hoping. I thought the beginning in particular, the author was trying too hard to make it like a quirky Victorian story, but it's definitely kept me hooked, and I do plan on reading the other books in the series, so I liked it enough. I think I gave it 3.5 or 4 stars, but I was hoping for a 5-star read. But I have enjoyed it. I like the Victorian setting. I like the characters, so that's what I read in January. And then in February so far, I've read 2 books. So just about a week in, I've already read 2 books. They were both on audio. The first one is A Timeless Christmas. That's by Alexis Stanton, but that's the pen name of Eva Lee, who's a Regency or Victoria. She's a historical romance author. But it's a Hallmark movie, and it was one of my favorite Hallmark Christmas movies. You totally have to suspend belief because of the time travel aspect, but really cute, really fun. And the other one that I read is The Wife Upstairs by Rachel Hawkins. That is a retelling of Jane Eyre. I liked it. It wasn't great. I don't know how well it translates, honestly, to modern day, but it was definitely intriguing. I mostly kept reading or listening just to see how it ended. So I don't know. I liked it. Again, glad I listened to it on audio and got it from the library. But yeah, that was my reading month so far. So I am in the middle of 2 books. Well, the middle's a stretch for one of them. I just started it this weekend. But I am reading along with the Bronte project that Marissa is doing. So I started Villette this weekend. This is one of those books that I think I might also listen to on audio, just because it is so long. But I'm enjoying it so far, not very far into it. But hoping to pick up on it. I really enjoy the Brontes. I've never read this one. It's always intimidated me a little bit, so the fact that there's a readathon is kind of nice because it allows some discussion on the book. And the other one that I'm reading right now is The Devil and Dark Water. This is from the library by Stuart Turton. I had read The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle last year. This one took me a little bit to get into just because they're based out of... well, it starts on a ship in Indonesia and it's going back to Amsterdam. Some of the names are a little unfamiliar to me, so that took a little bit to figure out who was talking and when, but I'm just about 200 pages into this one and plan on finishing it hopefully this week. Another book series that I'm kind of not sure if I'm going to go forward with or not is the At Home in Mitford read-along. I started the first book. I pick it up, read a couple pages, and then put it down. And I'm sad because I really wanted to love it, and I've owned the books for, I don't know, something like 5 years, and I just haven't ever touched them. So I'm going to try it on audio and see if that makes a difference. So I'm waiting for the audiobook to come in. But as of right now, I don't know if I'm going to continue with that series just because it was so hard for me to get through at first. So those are all the books that I've read so far this year. And then these are my maybe read for February. So again, I am not good at making a TBR because I do not stick to my own list. But like I said earlier, I do plan on reading the next books in the Veronica Speedwell series. So this is the new cover by Deanna Rayburn. So the next book is Perilous Undertaking, and I actually have the other 2 subsequent books in the series from the library. So planning on reading that one. This is my next book for my book club, The Vanishing Half by Brit Bennett. This is about 2 sisters, and one is passing as white, and the other one lives in a disadvantaged community. So seeing the relationship as sisters and how it changes throughout the years, and it goes over the course of the 50s to the 90s, I believe. So excited to pick this one up. I've heard mixed things about it, but I haven't read anything other by Brit Bennett, so planning on reading that one. Another one that I plan on reading is Forbidden by Beverly Jenkins. I've never read anything by Beverly Jenkins. When I read historical romance, they're generally set in Regency England. That's just what I tend to pick up. So this is in the American Old West, and it's about a man who's passing, who falls in love with this woman. But I've heard wonderful things about Beverly Jenkins. I heard this is a good starting point because it's a standalone, so I'm assuming I'm going to very much enjoy this one. If you have any other recommendations for Beverly Jenkins, or if there's another place to start, let me know. And then the final one that I'm planning on reading is The Reckless Way of Love. This is by Dorothy Day. This is actually a religious text. She was the founder of the Catholic Worker Movement that served the poor in New York City. So that is my plan. So we'll see what happens. What are you reading this month? Let me know, and I will